Welcome, sports fans, to the inaugural show of CEC 11 Sports Day. Got some breaking news to get to. But first, I want to say congratulations to the Oklahoma Sooner softball ladies winning their last night, winning their back-to-back national championships. Way to go, Patty Guys, all the girls. But now during our show, we're going to cover and give you our picks for the college football playoffs and the NFL playoffs, including the Super Bowl picks. But let's get to the breaking news. And Duncan Chase, my co-host, Bob Stoops has announced his retirement from the University of Oklahoma after 18 seasons. As a long-time Sooner fanatic, all the way to my younger days with Barry Switzer, and I've grown up living and breathing and, bleeding and dying Oklahoma football. This is a very sad day. There are no details yet of why the retirement has happened. There's going to be a lot of speculations. I'm going to miss Coach Stoops, a man with great integrity, great coach, great family man, great for our university. And Sooner Nation is saddened today with the announcement of the retirement of Coach Stoops. Chase, what do you say? You actually got to grow up with Bob Stoops, so to speak, as a Sooner fan. What do you have to say about this?
Yeah, so I was actually fortunate enough to be, like he said, growing up through just Bob Stoops. I was living and breathing Bob Stoops the entire time I watched Oklahoma football. And I have to really tell you guys, this one, when I woke up and I saw this one really shocked me. Bob hasn't really had the greatest stretch of seasons the last couple of years. He's had a couple bumps. He had an 8-5 season. We had an 11-2 season where we lost in the Orange Bowl. And, he hasn't really had the greatest seasons that he normally has. But I had to say, this really shocked me to see Bob retire. I really thought that this was a year that he was going to stay, because I really think this is a year that Oklahoma has a really good chance to do something. They have a veteran team. Looks like everybody's coming back healthy. No suspensions. And to be honest with you, this looked like the last year that Oklahoma was really going to have that for sure shot at competing. Because after this year, if you look ahead, Baker Mayfield, Jordan Thomas, Stephen Parker, the list goes on. Oklahoma just gets depleted after this year. And I have to say, this really surprised me. Bob's 190-48 record dating back to 1999. That's a really good record right there, and that's a record that I really figured that he would keep coaching with. And this shocks me. This really does shock me, I have to tell you guys. Like he said, today we're going to be going over our picks, and we're going to tell you who we think is going to be in the Final Four this year. And we're just going to be going over some things too. Maybe talk a little bit of NBA Finals with you. I know there's an NBA Finals game tonight, as a matter of fact. And so let's get right into it. But having said that, let's start off. I'm going to have my co-host here give you a little recap of last night's game, because I was at work, so I was unable to watch it. So with that being said, here we go.
Well, as we said at the start of the show, the Sooner softball team won back-to-back national championships last night by sweeping the Florida Gators. First game that everybody in the country pretty much knows was just an outstanding marathon ball game, won by Oklahoma. Just absolutely amazing pitching and hitting and picking your teammates up. Just a great game. Last night, we get out. Gomez gets us going with first big home run. They come back, tie it up, and push ahead. Pillar comes in. We get Shay Knight coming up, the most valuable player of the World Series. She ended the night before with a 3-run homer. Last last night she comes up and clears the benches with a double off the wall. Paige Lowry shutting down. Just an outstanding effort by the girls. Very proud of y'all. And if you didn't get a chance to watch these girls play ball, you need to mark it on your calendar starting next year and take a look at Silver softball and coach softball around your area, wherever you're listening to us at. Great competitors, outstanding young ladies. Coach Gasso and your staff, absolutely brilliant. So, again, congratulations. We're going to get into our picks now. We'll start with the college football season since this is the news that came out earlier about college football. So I'm going to go with my final four, and not necessarily in this order, just my 4 teams I think are going to end up at the end of the year. I've got Oklahoma, USC, Florida State, and my number 4 team, I was teetering on Ohio State or Alabama. It's kind of hard to keep Alabama out. I think Ohio State's going to be kind of in the mix, but I think the early season loss to Oklahoma is going to come back and kind of keep them out. So I'm going to go with Alabama for my 4 teams. And I got Oklahoma playing USC for the national championship. And Chase said earlier, I think this year's Oklahoma's year. And I think that they can really make a good historic run this year. So I'm going to have Oklahoma finishing up as national champions. And I'm going to switch it over to Chase. He'll give you his final 4, his prediction, and then he can go in his NFL picks and switch it back over to mine. And I'll be mine. Let's talk a little NBA after that and some any other pressing news. And then you guys are topic to comment on. Send your comments to the show and send your comments to our Twitter feed. So, Chase, take it away. Give me who you got from the Final Four in the college football playoff this year.
Alrighty. So we actually both really surprisingly have the same Final Four. I too have Oklahoma, Florida State, USC, and Alabama. I think Oklahoma, Florida State, and USC are the no-brainers in this. Look, Oklahoma's just too dominant this year. There's nobody in the Big 12 that can play with them. And the only chance that anybody has of keeping Oklahoma out of the college football playoff, to be perfectly honest with you, is just like last year. You're going to have 2 of these non-Big 12 teams beat them in the first 3 games. And with the fact that Oklahoma only has to play 1 ranked team this year, I don't see that happening. I, too, think Oklahoma can handle Ohio State this year. It's never been good for teams when they have to come back and play Oklahoma the next year after they embarrassed us. And that's what they did last year. They embarrassed the Oklahoma Sooners. Urban Meyer and his team went out there and they played a fantastic game. And offensively, they moved the ball. Our defense just couldn't stop them. So I would expect a different game this year, but I would also expect a good game. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be one of the better games of the college football season. I have Florida State, I have USC, and I have Alabama. My thing with Alabama is pretty simple. I'm like him, kind of hard to count Ohio State out, and I think if they didn't have to play Oklahoma, I would pick Ohio State. But with the fact that Ohio State's going to have that guaranteed loss, and there's something about Nick Saban in college football, guys. As much as you can hate him, you can love him, it doesn't matter. But Nick Saban wins football games. Nick Saban puts together winning teams. Doesn't matter how he does it. And I think Alabama's going to be in it this year. I don't think they're going to be competitive, though. They had it this year, but things are going to be really different this year. They lost a lot of defensive players. They're going to be young on defense, and you look at these 3 teams. They would have to play in the Final Four, and all 3 of these teams have veteran quarterbacks, veteran running backs, good offensive lines. Alabama just has too young of a defense to deal with that. I mean, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. I mean, those are two guys right there those are two Heisman candidates right there. I don't see Alabama being able to handle that on defense. I too have Oklahoma and USC in the national championship game, and boy, that was fun last time. That was a real fun one. But I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with Oklahoma, and this isn't a bias thing. And here's why. I think, like I said, Oklahoma, they have it set up this year where, like it or not, they are one of the best teams in college football. They are. On paper, they have one of the best teams, and it really comes down to, who do you trust more? Do you trust Oklahoma that has the better team, or do you trust USC who, USC's powered too. Don't get me wrong. I like USC, but, Oklahoma has a much better defense this year, and Oklahoma's offense has been putting up numbers ever since Baker Mayfield started playing quarterback for us. So, I think it's lined up for Oklahoma to do this, and, like I said, anything could happen. But I think Oklahoma can do this year, and I do have them winning it all. The NFL for me, well, that one, guys, let's get into it because I like the NFL. You guys know I do. I don't know if we mentioned before, but my co-host and I are both huge Dallas Cowboy fans. I know a bunch of you are going to get a kick out of that. And we love our Dallas Cowboys. So I would just like to start off by saying this. You're going to hear opinions on this about the NFL that you might not think are correct and you might not like, but I'm just going to be straightforward with you. I have people in the NFL that, I lost a lot of respect for, and a big one for me is Tom Brady. So, when we're talking about the Patriots, there's going to be a lot of times where you guys are going to hear me say, yeah, he's a great player, but, there's no place for what he did in sports. There's no place for that. And that taints legacies. So, to all the Brady fans, to all the Patriots fans, you might as well get ready for it because, I'm not okay with that stuff and I don't support it. So to me, Tom Brady will always be a great player, but every time we get into the discussion of who's the greatest of all time, you're going to hear a but from me with Tom Brady. So I just want to give you guys that heads up now. As far as the playoffs go, this is a year where I think you're going to have two young teams in the Super Bowl. I like Dallas to be in the Super Bowl this year just because look how close we got last year. We got close. Wasn't for the fact that we had to play the Packers again, which just doesn't seem like we can beat the Packers. But if it wasn't for the fact that we had to play the Packers, I think that we could have won. But this year we're better. Dak Prescott's better. Ezekiel Elliott's better. Dez Bryant's healthier. I think that was a big thing for us last year. Dez Bryant not being healthy was just a killer to us last year. When he was on the field, you guys saw he just torched it. But he definitely him being healthy definitely helps us. As far as the AFC goes, again, I know the Patriots are a good team, but I got news for the Patriots and everybody else in the AFC. You're gonna see a Raider team this year come out like no other. That's a team that I think last year could have definitely went all the way had Derek Carr stayed healthy, and I think the same thing this year. I think had they played the Patriots, it wouldn't even have been a game. The Raiders are just a great team. They're young, they're passionate, they have the drive, they want to win, and they have a quarterback who, like I said, he wants to win. So I have the Raiders and the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, and by a hair, guys. By a hair. I actually have the score down at 32-31. I actually have Dallas winning the Super Bowl this year. 32-31. That's my prediction. I'm going to pass this one back over to Claude, and he's going to give you guys his take.
Well, Chase, we're got kind of a good match there on our college picks. And after living the last OU-USC national championship game, that was horrendous. It was terrible. Threw me into a heart attack. I couldn't deal with it. But our pro football picks are exactly the same. I've got Dallas coming out of the NFC, and I've got it for basically the same reasons you do. I know we've lost a lot of people on defense, and people are going to say, "Oh, well, these are young guys. You're bringing in veterans that might not have anything." And the loss to Green Bay, we choke, but. Losing to Green Bay is what's going to catapult Dallas to the Super Bowl this year, because they're going to come in basically the same, basically the same record, winning the NFC East, but they're going to have that in the back of their mind. Hey, just because you won your division and you won 13 games doesn't assure you a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Doesn't assure you that spot. So I think you're going to see Dak and Ezekiel and offensive line and healthy Dez Bryant, and a defense that is going to be, poked and prodded on by every national media and every other, sports figure in the world is going to try to poke holes in it. I think they're going to overachieve and really, by the end of this year, people are going to be going, wait a minute, these guys aren't that bad. And I'll have to agree with you with the Raiders. I actually had Dallas and the Raiders picked last year. Raiders are a great team, great coach, and a phenomenal quarterback. I mean, he doesn't go down next year. The Patriots don't have another Super Bowl. They're primed. You're going to see a couple really good teams. You see it as close. I don't see it quite as close. My prediction is going to be 29-19. Dallas, just because of the running back. Now, I know that they've got Marshawn Lynch coming in, but he's been out of football. Don't know what kind of shape he's in, but you know what kind of shape Ezekiel Elliott's in. You know what he can do. And you also know what, taking nothing away from Marshawn Lynch, of course, but I just think that the offensive line and the running game, that's going to wear a team down and force them into just trying to beat him passing, and I just don't see it happening. So that's my prediction on that. So we've got a little NBA. My son Chase is a little bit more into the NBA than I am. I follow it, but I don't follow it like I do college football, pro football, Major League Baseball. I have personal reasons of why I don't want Kevin Durant to win a ring, because I don't like the way he treated the city of Oklahoma City and the Oklahoma City Thunder organization. I understand that you want to go get a ring. That's fine. That's what you want to do. Go do it. But don't disrespect the team and the town that supported you through your entire NBA career. I don't like their cockiness. Don't like their arrogance. Now, I'm not saying that those are bad things to have, but don't turn yourself into being assholes. And that's what the Warriors have done. They went from the people you're cheering for because they were the underdog and, they hadn't won anything, and, they've got these players that are good and great, and then you get your title, and you get your little, winning streak going and stuff, and then you turn into complete assholes, and there's no reason for it. Not a big LeBron James fan. Me and Chase debate, great players into everything, top quarterback, top, NBA player of all time. I don't get into that because I go by eras. I don't go by players, because I don't think that Tom Brady, who everybody seems to think is the greatest quarterback to ever put on a helmet, I don't agree with that, because I don't think he could have played in the era in the 70s where you could clothesline a quarterback and not get a flag. Nowadays, if you hit a quarterback in an inch on his number, just barely swipe your hand across him, you get a roughing passer call. So I don't get into any of those kind of conversations. But as it's all said and done, I'm going to take the Cavs in 7. So Chase will probably have a little bit more details and be able to talk to you more about NBA. Like I said, I'm not I don't follow it as much as I do the other sports. So I'm going to switch it back over to him, have him do that, and then we'll do our final takes, and we'll give you the topic that we want y'all to tweet out, and tweet the show, and tweet our Twitters, answers to your questions and things you want to see in the show, and things like that. So Chase, go ahead and give us your NBA thoughts there, and then we'll go on from there.
All right, guys. So, like he said, I'm a little more of an NBA fanatic than he is, and I have I have a couple things to say about the two teams in this particular finals before I get into the winning and how the series has gone and stuff. My first thing is Kevin Durant. I used to love Kevin Durant, and I can't say that I hate him because he made the decision that he did, but I hate the decision he made, and the reason being is it's a weak move. You can call it what you want. Kevin Durant's going somewhere to win. Kevin Durant wants to win a title. It's his life. You can't blame him for wanting to win a title. I don't blame him for wanting to win a title. But the way I tell people to think about it is this. Kevin Durant going to the Warriors is like if Julio Jones decided right now, I'm going to go play for the Patriots. Would you guys think that was weak? Because everybody who supports the Durant decision should support a decision like that. And I have heard plenty of people say, oh, well, no, that's different. And it's not different. It's not different at all. So the only way that Kevin Durant, in my opinion, is going to justify what he did is to finish this off and be the Finals MVP, which right now he is. Right now, he is the Finals MVP for that team. But he has to end up like that because you can't go to this team and not be the Finals MVP and have Steph Curry be the Finals MVP because then it's just like, you're getting it won for you. And that was my problem from the start. LeBron didn't go to the Celtics when he couldn't beat them with the Heat. MJ never went to the Lakers. Magic never went to the Celtics. You just don't go to your rival and you don't go to the team that you can't beat. And I don't want to hear that he didn't have any help because Russell Westbrook is a phenomenal athlete. Russell Westbrook is a top NBA player. I don't care what anybody says. He may have to shoot the ball a lot, and if you want to take that argument up with me, then all you have to do is just tell me who else is he going to give the ball to. That's all I want to know. Who else is he going to give the ball to? Alex Abrines? Oh, yeah. 6 points a game. Yep. How about Steven Adams? Oh, yeah. 5 years, $100 million. The year after? How about 6 and 10 a game? Yeah. Good stuff. See, it's time for us to start realizing that superstars don't get a pass to just do whatever they want in any sports. Kevin Durant made the weakest move in sports history. The weakest move in sports history. If you don't want to admit that, that's fine. That's your opinion. But as I said, Kevin Durant's move is not justifiable without a title and an MVP trophy. If he is not holding 2 trophies in his hand, it's not justifiable. There's no excuses. There's no excuses. There's no injuries. There's no, I'm one of 4 great players on my team. There is none of that. You win the MVP, you win the finals, your decision is justifiable. As far as Steph Curry, I'm just kind of giving you guys the rundown on how I am with the Warriors. I don't want you guys to think that I hate them for no reason. But I live in California, and let me tell you right now, as a Laker fan, this state has caused me to hate that franchise. I will be perfectly honest with you. I've said it on my Snapchat. I've said it on my Twitter. They have. This state has caused me to hate that franchise. I live around Warriors fan, proud Warriors fan since 2014, baby. Woo! Yeah. Proud Warriors since 2014. The only person that you know of is Steph Curry. Were you there when Tim Hardaway Jr. played? Probably not. How about when Mitch Richmond played? Oh yeah, you probably don't even know who that is. See, the thing that we have to understand is that the Warriors are a good team now. I understand that. But back in the day, you had to have been a fan to really call yourself a Warriors fan. And that is my problem with the Warriors. That being said, the finals have been extremely, extremely rough for me to watch because I am pulling for the Cavs. And I think that the Cavs can turn this around, but they need to do three things really quick. They need to do three things. They need to play better on-ball defense, okay? Better on-ball defense. You can't be letting Curry drive to the hole like that. He's too small to just be driving right to the basket. Number two, LeBron James, quit passing the ball off, dude. This is your team. You try and tell me that you're the superstar, okay? Take the ball to the hole. And on that note, the third thing, stop settling for jumpers 23 feet from the basket. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. With that being said, I don't want to have, anxiety, so I'm going to pass it back to my co-host for his final take, and we're going to wrap this thing up. So here he goes.
All right, folks. Our final topic, and this is going to be where we want to get y'all's input on things. And I'm going to say our final take. Our final take is going to be sportscasters, national sportscasters. You've got ESPN, you got Fox Sports 1, and I want to know which one of those do you prefer watching? Is it First Take or is it Undisputed with Skip and Shannon? I'm a big Skip Bayless fan, always have been. Love his show. First Take I like. Big Max Kellerman fan. Love him from, following great boxing mind, great sports mind, period. Stephen A. Smith, great mind. Gets a little out in left field for me. Shannon Sharp, great player, great sports mind. Just too much of a homer guy for me. I mean, he gets on one player and that's it. No matter what they're talking about, it always comes back to LeBron James. Could be talking about cat fights, and that somehow he's going to get LeBron James in there. Love the banter back and forth between him and Skip. A lot of people don't like Skip Bayless. I love Skip Bayless. Like him for his sports mind, his books, his books. So, for my taste, I'm going to go Skip and Shannon Undisputed. Just make it a more entertaining and a more intriguing sports show for me. So we want to know what y'all have to think. I'm going to let Chase give you his opinion on those two shows and which one he likes. And then, like I said, comment on our show and the question that we're asking today. And do it, through our YouTube channel and both of our Twitter feeds too. So send that over to Chase for his final thoughts on that. And again, congratulations to the OU girls softball team. And many, many thanks, Coach Stoops, for your years of dedication to the University of Oklahoma. To me, you're right up there with Bud and Barry. And the University of Oklahoma is going to miss you. And congratulations to Lincoln Riley, who is going to be named the Oklahoma Sooners new head football coach. So you now know what it takes to win here and what you have to do to continue to stay. So Sooner Nation, get behind our new coach and let's bring our 8th national championship home. So take it away there, Chase, and give us your thoughts on the First Take versus Undisputed thing and your final thoughts, and we will talk to y'all next week.
Yeah, guys. So I do like Undisputed. I do like First Take. For me, Stephen A. Smith, very knowledgeable guy. I think he's actually one of the smartest minds in the world of sports analysts. But to me, I actually have a show that I don't prefer. I actually, believe it or not, I record all three. When I get home from work at 11:15 at night, I sit down. I probably don't go to sleep till 4, but that's because I'm just sitting there watching sports shows. I put Undisputed on, watch it till it's over. First Take, watch it till it's over. But my third show that I really am intrigued by and I do like is The Herd with Colin Cowherd. I'm much like Stephen A. Smith. I respect Colin Cowherd because of his sports knowledge and the opinions and the facts that he has to back up his opinions are, to me, something that some shows don't have. And that's why I appreciate those 3 shows the most is they're authentic. They have the knowledge. Shannon and Skip know what they're talking about. Max and Stephen A. know what they're talking about. Colin Cowherd knows what they're talking about. And I think something that really pulls all 3 of those shows together is the host, Undisputed Joy Taylor, The Herd Christine Leahy, First Take Molly Karam. Those are 3 women right there that I really do respect. Those are 3 women that can sit in front of that camera and talk to you about sports for 2 and 3 hours. They don't need cards telling them what to say. They don't need computers. They can sit there and spit it off just right there. They can spit all of it off to you. And I have really come to respect that. I really do like The Herd. I appreciate all 3 of them. And I just want to really quickly, I want to say Mr. Colin Cowherd better hope that his man LeBron turns it around here in these finals. Otherwise, things could get ugly. He's definitely going to need to get a win tonight. With that being said, that's my final take. Make sure you guys leave comments for us. And that's the question, is let us know, guys. What's your favorite show? What's your favorite sports show to watch? Why? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you like this video. And until next week, we will see you guys next week.